Kentucky, where I was raised, where the wildlife and mountains call my name. I was born to hunt, I was born to guide, a camouflage on a rifle by my side. Just good old country boys chasing dreams in the Appalachian Mountains, fields and streams. From those white-tailed bucks strutting toms, the bugling elks that are on the run. Where those dreams are made, the trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name. The coyotes run all night. It's music to my ears and in my sights. I've got this hunting fever down in my bones. Glad my daddy taught me everything I know. From those white-tailed bucks strutting toms, the bugling elks that are on the run. Where dreams are made, the trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name. From those white-tailed bucks strutting toms, the bugling elks that are on the run. Where dreams are made, the trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name. The TLC Outfitters is our name.
Hey folks, welcome to On Air and Outdoors with TLC Outfitters. As always, I'm Trinity, and we are gladly joined by Mr. Matt Woolwine. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, buddy.
Good. I'll tell you, man.
Last week.
Yeah, you sound a lot better. Sound 10 times better, man. So, man, we are excited about tonight's show. We have got special guests. We got Bub Tackett, and we're going to be talking about the brand new NWTF chapter, and we're going to be talking about what they have already got in store coming up next month, hunting the 606 Expo. And I tell you what, man, they have got something big to announce. If you've not been keeping up with it, it's going to be pretty big, and we're pretty excited to be able to have Bub here tonight, taking time out of his busy schedule to talk to him. We'll get to him in just a few moments. Hope everybody's having a great week. If you've not done so, like and share this feed. Get the word out there about all things On Air and Outdoors with TLC Outfitters. Man, how's your week been? How did your weekend go?
Well, I mean, as far as the holiday weekend, everything was good. I mean, warm, obviously. You know, I'm not built for the heat and humidity. So, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. We are not hot weather guys.
Other than being a little on the sick side and stuff like that. I mean, it was good. Other than that,
yeah. We are joined by Justin Tinsley tonight from Tinsley Custom Wildlife. He said, need to auction a hunt off at that banquet. I tell you what, Justin, that is a good idea. That's a really good idea. We can talk We can talk to Bub a little bit later on about that, see what we can get going. You know, man, we had the NWTF chapter back eons ago, and we had it right after, you know, our late, great, good friend, Paul Robinson. Of course, he's passed on, but Paul and Paul, as I call them, two of the greatest turkey hunters that this world will ever see. And, you know, they kind of talked me into it, and we got in there, and we had a real successful chapter for several years in little old Eastern Kentucky. It kind of folded and went to the wayside, but now Bub and Cameron and some of the other boys have picked it up, and we're pretty excited, man. And I tell you, there's not a better time to focus on the wild turkey than right now.
Yeah, that's right. You know, there's a lot of concern been going around, and you know, you and I didn't necessarily see any reason to have a concern over the last couple of years, but you know, we only hunt our little areas. We're not hunting everywhere. So, you know, I'm sure everybody's got valid concerns out there in their hunting areas, and it's definitely a species and definitely an animal and a critter that we need to support if we can.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, man, for Eastern Kentucky, there's no better spokesperson and advocate for Kentucky wildlife, especially Eastern Kentucky wildlife, other than Bub Tackett and the guys that's behind this chapter and behind hunting the 606. We're proud to have him on tonight. We'll get to him in just a few moments. We got some other folks with us. James Royal says hello from Madison County. Appreciate it, man, tuning in. You remember the Royal Bull. Never forget that, Giant. So Justin Tidd said, Matt looks like he just ate.
Not true.
Huh.
I always look this way.
It's the only look you got, right?
The only look I got.
Gator Paul says, sorry I'm late. Better late than never, man. Better late than never. Hey, listen, man, before we get to our guests, you know what time it is.
Probably time for the Bicknell Bunch brag board.
Oh, you know it, man. I'm kind of proud of you. That's right. The Bicknell Bunch brag board, man. The Bicknell Bunch. If you've not checked out the Bicknell Bunch, let me tell you something. You need to head over there and check out all the good stuff that they have to offer, man. I'll tell you, they have grown their followers, and why wouldn't they? It's just a whole lot of good inspiration, faith, family, farming, and the outdoors. If you're looking for a pick-me-up, head over to the Bicknell Bunch Outdoors. Give them a follow. Jay Bicknell, all the guys, all the gals, Miss Bicknell. I mean, they're a great bunch of people, and they offer some good stuff right there. But, man, I've got one brag board entry this week.
Is that it?
That's it. One brag board entry. And let's take a look at this right here. I mean, still laying the hammer to them old dogs.
Yep. This was brought to you by the husband and wife duo of Covert Chaos. We rolled down there. Of course, thermal season's out, so we rolled down there about 45 minutes before dark. This farmer had been seeing some coyotes, and of course, you know, farmers and coyotes don't typically get along the best, especially when that farmer raises something like, you know, a livestock instead of row crop farmers. And so me and Jill rode down there and set our Fox Pro X24 out and started playing some MFK sounds. And thanks to that Swagger bipod and that Ruger rifle and Zeiss scope, buddy, we laid the hammer down on this. You know, it probably not my best trophy picture I've ever took.
Yeah.
But you know, I did the setup. My wife is, you know, Jill snapped the picture, so. I mean, it was all on her at that point. But 23 pounds, 5 ounces, I think it was, that farmer doesn't have to worry about anymore.
An exponential harvest.
Yeah, as a young female, you know, she wasn't a breeder this year, but probably next year she would have moved off and got her own territory, and she would have been a breeder next year. Probably overlapping this same area. So she's wiped out, and never fear, I've got my eyes on some more as we speak.
Yeah. Randy Williams says, nice dog. Any dead coyote is a good coyote. That's what I say. So, hey, man, let's get to our guest here. Taking time out of his busy schedule, Bub Tackett with the NWTF. Let's bring him on here. Hey, Bub, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. It's
How
good to
you
be
doing,
on.
man?
Doing good. Like you guys trying to beat the heat.
Yeah, it's miserable, man. That's for sure. I think we said today at work there it was a heat index of 106 or 107.
Yeah, it's I'm pretty blessed to sit in the cab of a truck all day.
Yeah,
I get home now. It's into the swimming pool. Cool
yeah.
down.
Man, that sounds like hard work. That sounds like a job for Matt Woolwine.
It's I packed on a few pounds from turkey season to now. So
Yeah. Well, we
I'm
all
not
have.
a big swimming pool fan, but I'm a big air conditioning fan. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's right. Bub, we're glad you're on, man. We're excited. You've worked real hard to help advocate for a lot of things when it comes to wildlife and outdoors hunting, youth experiences, a lot of stuff. And for that, we appreciate you very much. Thank you for coming on here to talk about what's going on. I want to pop up a couple of pictures here. Just to show a couple of things. I get this is you and your son all doubled up right there. Is this correct?
yes, sir. It's opening day this year.
Yep.
Probably the best hunt I've ever been on in my life to date.
Good deal.
So,
That's awesome.
me and my dad has never doubled, so it's pretty cool for me and my son to finally pull it off.
Yeah, man. And then looks like y'all got it done again.
Yeah, that's actually the turkey that I harvested. He couldn't. We set up for him to pull it off, and he just couldn't make it happen. And old dad couldn't let it get away.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I don't blame
So,
you at all, man. Good deal. So, brother, before we get into this good stuff that's going to be happening next month right here in good old Eastern Kentucky, tell us a little bit about yourself and, how did you come about to be, in the outdoors, man, and, be a good patriot for all this stuff going on.
and I born and raised in lower left Beavers, I like to call it, Floyd County, Wheelwright. Uh, But I've always chased after my old man, just running behind him. And finally got old enough to where he take me and killing the first squirrel and all that behind him. And then he got me into deer hunting. I actually got him into turkey hunting, believe it or not. Uh, I wasn't shut up until a little teenager running his mouth all the time wanting to go turkey hunting. He finally, and then he got bit, and we've been chasing him every year since. But yeah, my old man got me. He said, "As long as I'm a hunting, I ain't hunting for you."
That's right.
So,
That's a good slogan, brother.
yeah. So he pushed me in the outdoors, and I think every day, I'm thankful for it every day.
Yeah. Us too, man. I'll tell you, some of my fondest memories in life has been with my father in the outdoors. He's the one who got me into squirrel hunting, deer hunting, and he actually got me into turkey hunting. I turned around, and I got him into goose hunting and waterfowl hunting, and we got to travel before he left, and got to do a few things. So, when it comes to child and parent hunts, that's real close to home for us, and Matt's a lot the same way. He had some good experiences with his father, grandfather, and whatever else. So that hits close to home. Good old Cameron Hamilton. Hello, fellas from the beach. It wouldn't have done any good to got a hold of you earlier anyway. You out there sun tanning it up, big guy. Taking you a little
Yeah.
break. I see how you are. On
He,
the
he
beach.
finally took a break. That's a busy man right there.
That is a busy man, son. That's a real busy man.
I don't know what he's doing at the beach because last time I looked, he's colored about the same color as I am. Red-headed and white-skinned. There ain't nothing for him at the beach. I can promise you that.
He's got that SPF 1000 on.
Yeah,
That's exactly right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Dead fish and seaweed. That's all there is at the beach.
that's right.
Yeah.
So,
That's cool.
Bub, you started this Facebook page, HEKG, and I'll tell us a little bit about it. It's hunting Eastern Kentucky game, and it really took off and has done a whole lot of good.
Yeah. I just like there wasn't nothing for us on that platform here in Eastern Kentucky, and like I threw it up thinking, we get 100 or 200 people, uh, just people that I knew, and I threw it up with. I made sure from the get go I set the rules, no trophy shaming, nothing like that, and I really think the rules is why it's grown so big, and plus Eastern Kentucky starving for that platform, and it took off, and then the next thing I knew, I was having a hunting expo like I'd always dreamed of having. Um, in 2021, you was involved in it.
Yeah,
And I made that expo free for everyone. And we actually put some big deer in Boone and Crockett book that day from Floyd to Pike County and McGoffin County actually. Um, but yeah, that's something that I'm real proud of on hunting Eastern Kentucky game is everybody on there is friendly, like your Eastern Kentucky neighborhood, you know.
yeah,
Uh, and that I got that fired up, and then I seen and that's actually how I got to know you, Cameron. Me and Cameron trapping, and we got in the trapping competition and all that, and you beat that hunting Eastern Kentucky game drum pretty good for us too.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's the mission there is just to uphold the Eastern Kentucky hunter, who I think is the greatest hunters in the world.
Yeah, me too. It's the most unique. I've hunted all the way down at the Mississippi and northern Kentucky, central Kentucky, all the way across, and there's no experience. Kentucky has such diverse opportunities all the way across the state. You look across the state at how many different experiences you can get as far as outdoors, the water, whatever. But none of it to me is like Eastern Kentucky, in the mountains and in the hills.
That's it. Growing up, I've hunted everything from squirrel. I've owned beagles. I've rabbit hunted, turkey hunted, deer hunted. All of it. Even I ain't been successful yet, but I bear hunted. Never got that elk tag yet, but hopefully that'll come. But
You know, to me, when you talk hunting in Eastern Kentucky, it's more than just the critters. It's that Appalachian heritage, that woodsmanship that's been passed down through the generations, and just that that small game hunting being passed down from generation to generation has been lost,
yeah,
thanks to or unthanks to the hunting and the popularity of the whitetail deer and the turkeys and the bigger game, the elk and the sheep and all that stuff. And a lot of that woodsmanship has been lost from generation to generation. And I think back on the things that my dad, your dad, my grandfather, taught me, my uncles taught me, and things like that. And it's there's a lot of areas across the nation where people enjoy hunting.
yeah,
But when you pass down that knowledge of this is how we survived, you know, and the things that those older generations had to do in order to keep food on the table for 6, 8, 10 kids at a time, during the Depression and all. I mean, it's just constant, all that stuff. And when you start thinking about the knowledge, the woodsmanship, all that stuff that's been handed down in the Appalachian region, I mean, to me, it just sets itself apart from the western states or the southern, the further south states, the more northern states. It's just different. That Appalachian mountain region, and what it took to survive those hard times.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. I think that's a lot of the reason Eastern Kentucky didn't have no deer for some time, or scarce deer, is because the folks here had to survive on them.
Yep.
But
You,
with
you know,
conservation efforts, we got them back.
yeah. My dad, he was born in the 50s, and he was born to one of those big families. They were a family, like 8 kids, and a lot of times dirt floor poor. And I mean, raised, my grandfather hunted small game all of his life, and a lot of times that was their meal, or they may had enough money to go down and get a sack of beans to go with something or whatever else. So we've been there, done that. And for us, it was a rite of passage. When you hit 5, 6, 7 years old and you were big enough to handle a gun, the overwhelming majority of us were out in the woods, tailing behind somebody, trying to learn how to squirrel hunt, hoping you didn't get your head bit off if you stepped on a stick, or if you didn't see a squirrel, or God forbid you should miss a squirrel. You're going to hear about that for a week. You know what I'm talking about. But
Exactly.
it was a rite of passage. But man, for me, I like the common denominator, and I say this all the time, and people look at me like I'm crazy. You can take a room full of outdoors men and women that don't know anything, never met, and I don't know of any other, I don't know what you want to call it, hobby, way of life, active, whatever you want to label it. For us, that rite of passage when we're that young, it goes from being a hobby or an activity to a way of life. Hunting, for us 3 here and some of these other folks here, hunting is a way of life. It always has been in my home. I know, Bub, it is in your home. Matt, I know it's a huge part of your home and has always been. The outdoors, the whole deal. But you put a whole group of people in a room together and never met each other, that common denominator, you already know something about everybody, and it's like you've been friends your entire life.
Yeah. Like you can go sit by a campfire with them all night, and get up, go hunt the next morning, and be perfectly fine, just because
That's right.
they share the same stuff you share.
Yeah.
Uh, and I honestly believe that.
Yeah. We got some other folks joining us. We got our good old buddy Wayne from the Hacienda Hargabus. Appreciate you, Wayne, tuning in. Cameron already posted that, but Cameron said, "Oh, I'm already blistered, Matt. Better go get you some aloe, big guy."
Yeah.
I popped this one up. Corey Taylor said, "Matt finally got that old coyote. He ain't got old Willie yet. Old
No.
Willie, the smarter, more intelligent cousin of Wiley Coyote, he ain't got him yet. But I my money will be on Matt."
Yeah, so that picture there, just to clarify, that picture I don't think is the same coyote that I've missed 6 times now.
No, I don't think so either. And another guy that does a lot and a big advocate for the outdoors and wildlife and everything, Paul Priest says Bub is a great person for wildlife. You got that right, Paul. Thanks for tuning
Hey,
in.
Paul is too, man. I like reading some of Paul's stories and following along with him. The bears in his deer spots all the time. I keep up with old Paul.
They're always there until bear season comes on.
Yeah. I enjoy Paul a lot.
Yeah.
I enjoy following him.
Yeah. Hey, Bub, let's talk about what is being created, man, what y'all have already started. Let's talk about the new NWTF chapter, the National Wild Turkey Federation chapter we got going on.
All right. So so Chris Sumbo, Dr. Chris Sumbo, he contacted me, I don't know, probably 2 months ago. And he's like, man, well, he actually contacted me back in before turkey season. Then we all got busy with turkey season. He's just wanting to fire up the chapter. And the first words out of his mouth was Jake, you know, the Jake Day and the youth. And when I heard that, I was on board. Plus, I know Chris most of my life. Uh, and he's like, man, I want to look into it, see what steps we need to do, either fire up the old chapter, the Leviza Fork, or just start all new. And about 3 weeks ago, we finally got the nod. And Chris didn't stop. And he asked me, he's like, who do you think would be good officers and a good treasurer? And I said, Cameron Hamilton right off the bat. Me and Cameron went to the convention this year in Nashville, and I know where Cameron's heart's at, and it's so. And then Chris got Michael Henson involved as our secretary, and we just got the ball rolling. And I said, we met for the first time at Chris's office, and I said, why don't we kick off a bank account, fund them with a expo. I said, kind of get a little revenue coming in. And I told him that, I'd done the hunting Eastern or hunting the 606 before, and man, Chris was all on board, and we went to rolling, and we wanted to have a turkey calling competition. So he told the state board that, and he's like, why don't y'all just have the state championship and knocked our socks off. But and we was planning on having the expo at the state park there at the convention. And once we got that, we kind of, to be honest with you, outgrew it.
Yeah.
And so we reached out, Cameron reached out to some people, and next thing we know, we had the Appalachian Wireless Arena in Piketon for hunting the 606 Expo. And here we are with 30-some booths sold, and the two best turkey callers in the world is going to be under one roof in Eastern Kentucky on August 24th. And all of these proceeds is going to go to our chapter, to the youth, the Jake Days, moving, and to the NWTF, who I think is probably the best conservation foundation there is.
Yeah.
And plus, here we are with the turkey numbers the way they are in the South, anyways. Kentucky's not really showing it real bad right now, but the South is. So, we need more chapters to pop up.
That's right. That's right. A lot of people's got the mindset that all the turkeys already established, and NWTF was vital in those transplants of turkeys in depleted areas. But man, I'm telling you, we're maybe not so much in Eastern Kentucky. I always say, man, we kind of got the good Lord above really likes Eastern Kentucky because we kind of got this safety net of a lot of things. I can think about a lot of things we sit here and talk all night about, from honeybees to a lot of other things. You can think all you want about this other stuff like big buck country. We've got our own little niche right here in Appalachia, and it's a pretty good deal that a lot of people don't give credit to, and that's okay. Whatever keeps them out and keeps us rolling, right?
That's exactly right. I don't think other than, like, I don't ever see Eastern Kentucky blowing up into Iowa or something. And quite frankly, I don't know if I want it to.
No.
But because you're not going to see, how hard it is to hunt here. You guys here.
Yeah.
So, we're going to weed them out, so to speak, if they come here.
That's right. That's right. I just want to know if, and I would imagine one of those people is going to be Bo Brooks, right?
No, we actually reached out to Bo, but no, we have Matt Van Sice, who just won the Grand high class caller. He's got a booth. High class caller's got a booth, and he's going to be there, and he's going to judge the competition. And then Black Label Game Calls and Jesse Martin.
Yeah.
The last two senior open champions will be under the roof in Pikeville
Mm.
on,
I
on August 24th.
I know Matt's gonna get his old call up and ready, and he's gonna go toe to toe with those champs.
Yeah. 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 You've heard me call, but I got a belly crawl the last 50 yards just to even be inside of them.
But you gotta give him that old yank, 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 yank.
Now I can give
See
them the old
that?
yank, but like I said, I got a belly crawl behind a log in order to get close enough to kill one.
Yeah. Chris Stumbo right here. We're talking about him. Says Dave Owens is a maybe as
Yeah.
well. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's Chris. That's the president of the chapter. I'm vice president. Chris is the president, and yeah, Dave is a maybe. We got a bunch of maybes, but we also have a bunch of confirmed. We're also going to have at the expo. We're going to have Dale Weddle there scoring big deer, or big game. Let's put it that way. Yeah, if you need an
Elk,
elk
deer,
scored, a elk, deer,
anything
and
that can be
bear.
scored, Moon and Crockett. Yeah.
Yeah, I have two bears already to be scored uh, during the show. So, and here's the thing: I'm making appointments because we can't have everybody bring their deer. Uh, so I'm actually looking for some big trophies for that. And I already got some appointments now, but I have two bears already with appointments to get scored that day. And,
Good.
Bub, it'd be nice, Bub, if those people could drop their trophies off early and there be a
yeah.
collection of all those trophies so that when people walk through there, they could see what Eastern Kentucky had to offer.
Yeah, so I see that's kind of what we did at the first one. Uh, my dad built a platform to put in behind Dale, and we displayed them as he would score them. We put them back there and display them, and I got some great pictures. And we actually put the Floyd County typical record in the book that day. Hazy Dotson uh, deer
Stud
went in
book. Yeah.
the Floyd County record book that day. Uh, but yeah, it's that people don't realize that booth with Dale there, and he's got a guy coming out of Indiana, Steve. I forget his last name, but he's like one of the top 10 scorers in the country. But he's going to be there with Dale scoring. Um, but man, it's good to just go by there and watch Dale work and check out the trophies hanging and the trophies coming in.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite part. Don't get me wrong, turkey hunting is my passion. That's one of my favorite parts of when I held the expo before. Uh,
Yeah.
was watching Dale work and seeing the trophies coming in.
Yeah. And right here it is. Now, this is a little blurry. I apologize for that. But this is second annual hunting, the 606 Outdoor Expo. It is hosted by the NWTF chapter, the Appalachian Strutters. It's going to be at the Appalachian Wireless Arena Saturday, August the 24th. Mark your calendars, folks, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. I was really waiting I was hoping to get Bub on here and be able to do this. We're going to have this posted all over our stuff and going out to all of our folks. If you're interested in a booth, it's got all the information on there, who you can contact, everything. But, main thing is to attend. It's going to be 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Going to be a lot of good stuff going on. And, kids 15 and under are free. Bring the kids out. Bring the entire family out. It's going to be some good stuff. And like Bubba's already told us, the state championship turkey calling contest is going to be going on right there in Pikeville, Kentucky. Man, I can't think of a better place to have it.
And man, that's it. And that's the big thing. Me and Chris and Cameron and Michael was talking. We got that state championship to Pikeville, Kentucky. We got it to Eastern Kentucky. Let's put it that way. Let's keep it here. That's one big goal of ours is to keep that here, keep the state board happy, and keep that championship right here in the mountains. Like I
And you
never dreamed that we would pull that. And we're going to fight tooth and nail to never let it go.
And you know what, fellas, we get a lot of folks that say, now right here's a grand opportunity, and I'm going to bring up probably a sore subject, but I'm just going to lay it out for the facts. There's a lot of folks that's got a bad taste in their mouth because the Elk Expo has been moved, to the Kentucky Gun Company. There's different mixed feelings about that. Hindsight this, kudos to the Kentucky Gun Company and the notoriety and the things and all the spotlight brought on the elk and all the stuff that our good buddy Patrick Hayden has done with all the monies and all the programs. I mean, I can go on and on and on. If you want to know about, we got 2 past shows about that, one from this year and one from the year past, if y'all want to go back and look at that. But here is a grand opportunity for everybody in Eastern Kentucky to come out and support, make a big showing, and show everybody, hey, we got some good stuff in Eastern Kentucky too. Let's have this. Let's grow this. Let's get out, support our kids. Let's get out, support our wildlife, and just support each other as outdoors men and women.
And yeah, $20 a mission. You think, $20 is a lot. But that, I promise you, that is a donation more than anything. That is getting our chapter up and running, getting our Jake days going. Like I said, the thing you do youth weekend is awesome. And if we could just build on that, because I'll be honest with you, the way I look at it, it's all for the youth. Because once we're older, who's going to keep this tradition going?
That's right. That's what Matt and I talk about all the time. We still do some stuff and we'll still whatever else, but creating those good stewards that we're going to pass the buck to, that's going to defend and educate, advocate, protect, that's going to be future fish and wildlife biologists, fish and wildlife officers, fish and wildlife central office staff, commission members, commissioner, whoever it may be, or just the guy that goes out and wants to make his farm and his land into the very best that he can be and try to get his neighbors to do it, or the guy and gal that's going to teach youth for years to come. This is our most precious resource, our youth. And go ahead.
Like I say, our turkey numbers across the nation are down, but we need to look at those hunting numbers, those hunter numbers. They're in worse shape than the turkey numbers. So we need to keep that our lifestyle rolling.
And
no better way than the Jake's program.
Our world, our population, our housing market is exploding faster than we can imagine. Me and my wife both are in the building industry, sell building materials, and the population and the expansion needed to keep housing for everybody. But we are wiping out habitat left and right. I don't care what state you're in. I don't care what nation you're in. The wildlife habitat and us as humans infringing on the wildlife. If we don't bring a younger generation up in order to conserve that and protect that habitat and conservation efforts and things like that. Come on. A little humanity tells you that, the reason that these coyotes and raccoons and all these deer being in these neighborhoods, they don't want to be there, but we have forced them into a position where they have to be there.
Exactly. Look at Seek One. They're making a living on it, hunting deer in residential areas, and it ain't the deer moved in, the people moved in.
That's right.
But that's a lot. That's one reason we, Chris come to me about kicking his chapter off. He remembers, a Jake Day when he was younger. I don't know how long ago it was that Floyd County hasn't had one, but we're in 2025. We're going to roll one out, and we're going to most likely have it at the state park at the lake, at Dewey Lake. That's our goal there, and then a banquet in 2025 as well. But man, this expo, I'm looking at a few notes I wrote down. We got his craft, our brotherhood, out of Martin County. I don't know if you've dealt with those or talked with them, but we got taxidermist booths. We got fishing booths. We got drone recovery booths. Uh, Plenty of turkey call booths. Uh, Already sold. And it's 2 weeks before our bow season kicks off, our deer archery season. Uh, and we've reached out to a lot of our local vendors, and we got some of them on board, and some of them still in lingo. And like I tell a lot of the vendors, come and have you a drawing, uh, because most of your customers are going to be under that roof on August 24th. Uh, and I'm trying to, we're trying to get, like, I know you're on board. You told me day one, Trinity. I give you that. As soon as we kicked off, you said, man, anything I can do to help y'all. Day one. And that's the Eastern Kentucky way. And I think that's why we got this state championship calling contest. And I think that's why we'll end up keeping it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm excited, man. I tell you, this has been a long time coming. Hey, listen, that's the weekend after the opening of squirrel season. That opening weekend, they've got the youth squirrel hunt. You got 2 weekends right there. Nothing better to do. You can go out that morning. A lot of people's probably scouting for deer, getting ready to get into velvet season. So, let the camera scout for that morning, or go out and scout that morning. And while you're out, shoot over. Come over to Pikeville. It's a short drive anywhere in Eastern Kentucky. And listen, somebody seen this that wants to travel, there's plenty of places to stay too. So I hope folks far and near, and people that want to set up. And this may be hunting the 606. This is something I want to say. This isn't just for Eastern Kentucky people. This isn't just for Eastern Kentucky vendors. We look forward to, when we talk about Eastern Kentucky being such a unique setting, we also look forward to going to Central Kentucky and Northern Kentucky and Western Kentucky, whether you're going down duck hunting or sandhill crane hunting or whatever it is. We support all that, and we hope that everybody realize that, this is our home. We live here, but this is everybody in the Commonwealth area as well. So somebody away from here that wants to be a vendor to this, don't hesitate. It will be worth it. It's going to be a great event, and there's no better place. And there's plenty to do here. Plenty to do here to occupy your time if you want to make an entire weekend of it.
And I'll just be honest with you, I put the scores, Dale and Steve, up out at the lodge.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
And Dale, that's one of Dale's favorite places in our area. So I put Dale and them up out there, and that's what I recommend. If you're coming, because we got vendors in North Carolina, West Virginia. We even got the Mingo County chapter has a booth coming over. Our neighbors. We got judges coming out of Ohio, vendors coming out of Ohio. Matt Van Sice is from Pennsylvania coming down. High class calls. It's not just a 606. All we're doing is hosting.
That's right.
And we're going to show the people, from the surrounding area, what Eastern Kentucky is about that day.
I'll tell you what. Anybody thinks they're a real turkey hunter, they need to come on down here to these old mountains and see what they made of. Watch Matt grin like a possum with persimmon in its mouth. He knows.
And that's what Chris said. Chris said, "Man," he said, "Bub," he said, "every year," he said, his wife walk in and say, "Yeah, Bub killed a turkey," and I'll get on there and Chris killed a turkey, and you'll have seasons where you struggle because of these mountains.
Yeah.
Like you said, the woodsmanship, and that's what they're going to see when they pull in here. Like how these folks killing a turkey every year.
That's
And
right.
it's that old stuff passed down.
Yeah.
You can say goodbye to them crop fields.
I can't hunt in flatland. I've been lost in flatland, but I do miss those old hunting trips. So it seems like we don't take no hunting trips anymore. I miss
Trinity,
those.
when we get those hunters that come from the Midwest states like Illinois and Indiana and places like that, I'll be honest, whether they're elk hunting or coyote hunting or deer hunting with us, black bear hunting with us, whatever the case is, I think they're mesmerized by the beauty of the mountains. I mean, I'll never forget that absolute blizzard that we coyote hunted in with them guys from Indiana. And I mean, dude, opportunities out the wazoo. And they missed and missed and missed. And then, but had a blast, dude. I mean, all the hills was covered in snow and roads was covered in ice. I mean, it was a bad weekend, but man, they went home they'd never hunted terrain like that. And it just, whether they was coyote hunting or big buck hunting, it didn't matter. I mean, it was the mountains that drew them in, and it's the mountains that's had them re-sign with us, and they're going to be coming back. So.
That's right. Yeah.
I've always said, man, we're spoiled. We're spoiled because I honestly believe we live in the prettiest place on the planet.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something. So I want to go back and look at little man right there. Hey, who is that?
What is that?
What is that? What are you doing, Kason? I see you, big guy. Hey, son, that's TLC and Turkey Hunter 4.0 right there.
I got a Kason too. Look at that.
That's awesome.
My youngest one's named Kason.
Yeah. Son, he already loves the tractor, wants to go, son, and mesmerized by wildlife. Matt and Jill's got
got
all kinds of wildlife around there, son, and just locks on it.
Yeah, man. So, nothing better than that.
That's right. But I want to go back to something you said there that we kind of didn't touch on, and I meant to. You were talking about how the wildlife, we grew up in a time that there was no deer. There was no wild turkey. We seen that in our lifetime. I remember my dad hunting. Of course, he was a weekend warrior, and he'd have to travel to go hunt deer because there were no deer in Eastern Kentucky. There definitely wasn't any turkeys till the 90s, really. Yep. I mean, the stocking program started for them, but, the first turkey seasons come about. But I think you talking about us being spoiled, I agree with that. We're spoiled by so much great beauty, area, uniqueness, opportunities. Just the experience to hunt Eastern Kentucky in itself is as good as the harvest. But you take deer, you take wild turkey. We remember a time when those we wouldn't be sitting here talking about harvesting those or having whatever. Unless you was a squirrel hunter or a rabbit hunter, you were out. They wasn't anything to hunt. But I think that's why part of the reason why those traditions are so enriched in Eastern Kentucky folks is because we remember a time when we didn't have that stuff. And when other folks are just, in other places, they've always had it from day one. We were raised up in a time where, heck, if you seen a track, you had a huge hunt.
I can remember when Leslie County didn't even have a deer season. And, I'm 39 years old, but I can remember when I was young that Leslie County didn't even have a deer season. And that's how I started deer hunting. Me and Dad and a few of his buddies would load up, and we called it down the country back then in Floyd County. We'd go down the country to hunt deer for the weekend or however long. But yeah, and now uh, I still I'll go hunt public land just for a hunting trip. But I'd rather hunt these mountains right here as eat, so to speak.
Yeah, me too, man. I've hunted from west to way far north, way far south, woods, water, everything. And I'm grateful for all those opportunities. But now there's no place like good old Appalachian Mountains. That's for sure.
That's a fact. And when you kill a turkey here, or you kill, it may be because I'm from here, but it means a little more. I, I've always felt that. Like it means a little more when you drag something out of these mountains.
That's right. That's right. What have I missed, Matt?
Done pretty good, bud.
I'll tell you what, man, I'm super excited. Super excited. I remember the heydays of the NWTF. Paul Hagens, Paul Robinson taught me about the banquet and about, just idolize those guys. Anybody on here, I know Paul knows who I'm talking. Paul Priest knows who I'm talking about. Cameron knows. You probably know who I'm talking about. Paul Robinson. Paul Robinson harvested, and he died in a tragic accident on Paintsville Lake, and left a great legacy behind. Our good buddy Paul Hagens is still around, but you're talking about a guy that killed a grand slam with a muzzleloader shotgun.
That's awesome.
And you're talking about Paul Hagens, who, if you could get that guy to go back to making turkey calls and the word got out, they wouldn't be, those calls basically call themselves. They wouldn't be any turkeys left, and to see this tradition go on, man, just go on. And I hope people get on fire for this. If people don't get on board and they don't realize, and once again, we're spoiled right here, and we don't see a lot. We've kind of got this veil over us. We don't see this. You can talk about elk numbers all day long. You can say what you want to say. That's a little taste of what other places are experiencing. Look at our quail population. Our quail population has been decimated. And if you don't think this can't happen to the wild turkey and other species, your first step, if you don't know where to start, if you say, well, I really don't know that much about conservation, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, let me show you your first step, folks. Right here. Right here's your first step. Come and talk to us. Come and talk to those people who are enriched in this and whatever. There is something for everybody to do. And if everybody does a little, we can get a lot done.
That's exactly right. And you'll hear me beat that trapper drum. But there's other ways. Like how Matt does it. I'll be honest with you, I trap because I couldn't pull it off like he does. But yeah, come and talk to us about it. And that's what I'm most excited about, is to sit and talk to everybody, meet everybody. And the NWTF is and the state board is right behind us. We're going to make sure we keep these turkeys.
I tell you what, this probably ain't much of an analogy or an example, but I'm pretty sure we probably got the Bo Brooks of coyote calling right there in between us, at least with an X24 with MFK call sign, batting 100% opportunity. Let me make that up front. 100% opportunity. Now, the shooting skills, Matt says most nights we'd shoot like Justin Tinsley. Justin, I didn't say it. Matt did. Okay. But Yeah, man, I tell you, there's something for everybody to be able to do. And this is your chance right here. This is one of many chances for you to do. Chris says the whole idea about the chapter in the expo was for us to do our part to try and bring the community together. Man, Chris, that's what we've tried to do with Dog Days of Winter tournament. It's not we don't make any money off that tournament. That's 100% in and 100% out. It's bringing light and bringing the opportunity to put a fun spin on things for people, hopefully, to get out and be able to bring everybody together for a greater good of what we love. If we don't start doing something, folks, I'm telling you, we're taking it for granted. If we don't do something, these heydays of what we're enjoying could be gone like that.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Right here, folks. And go ahead, bud.
And that's like folks like you, Trinity, and Chris, and Cameron, and Matt. As long as we keep moving this needle forward, our kids get to enjoy it. That's our chapter goal right there. To preserve it for our kids coming up and their kids.
That's right, man. Folks, mark your calendars right here. Second annual Hunting the 606 Outdoor Expo, hosted by the NWTF chapter Appalachian Strutters at the Appalachian Wireless Arena in beautiful Pikeville, Kentucky, Saturday, August the 24th from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Already over 30 vendors and more. If you know somebody, I'm asking, I'm begging, if you know somebody that's a vendor that would want to set up, get them this information. You can go to Bub Tackett's Facebook page. You can go to Hunting Eastern Kentucky Game. And if you're not part of that Facebook group, shame on you. Yeah. You need to go to HEKG.
Hey, and look, you don't have to be in the outdoors. If you want to, if you sell real estate, I promise you, come buy a booth, set up. It'll probably be a blessing to you that day. You'll probably get a blessing out of it.
That's right. And the one thing that to remember, this grand opportunity that everybody has is it's going to be hosting this event is going to be hosting the Kentucky State Calling Championship, the NWTF Kentucky State Calling Championship. And you don't want to miss that. I'm not talking about entering it. I mean, I'm talking about being a spectator and be able to enjoy it. $20 general admission, kids 15 and under. Basically, all youth hunters are free. Big buck scoring done by appointment only. So you got to reach out. Scoring done by Dale Weddle, one of the best Boone and Crockett scorers and Buckmaster scorers in the nation. Special guest Jesse Martin from Black Label, Matt Van Sice, High Class. The information is right there, and it's going to be on our Facebook page. You can go to Bub's Facebook page. You can go to Hunting Eastern Kentucky Games Facebook page, their group page. You need to join that and get on board with the Hunting the 606.
And just let me say this, Randy. I promise you, I don't care if you go to Nashville in the spring, you won't hear better turkey calling than you'll hear on August 24th in Pikeville. I'll put my name on that.
That's exactly right. Some folks that come out of the woodwork for sure. Going to be a huge day. Right here is this your Michael?
That's our secretary.
That's secretary for the Appalachian Strutters with great door prizes. Man.
Yeah, I forgot that. We're gonna have door prizes. Drawing. Anything to benefit the chapter. Like it'll be worth your while to come out.
Yeah. We're excited, man.
And I thank you, Trinity. I thank you, Trinity, for having me on and beating that Eastern Kentucky drum and our chapter drum.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you taking time. I appreciate all the guys and gals that's part of this, man. We're excited to be part of it. And looking forward to it. It's going to be a big day. Going to be a big day. Folks, we got coming up here by the end of this week. I think it says July the 15th. I think they'll have it out this week. I could be wrong. unit draws. So if you have got that coveted Kentucky elk tag, going to be the unit draw is going to be coming up by the 15th. I expect it to be out by the end of the week. I may be wrong, depends on how busy they are. So that's when the real work begins, when all the hunters find out where they get drawn at. That'll be when you find out if you got an RA or if you got a specific unit, whatever. We'll be trying to let you know up front. Some of these other folks will too. So that'll be coming up here real soon. Still a lot of things going on, man. There's still a lot of opportunities for people to be able to do. There's no reason to get out, not be out in the great outdoors. As Matt's already talked about there, you got coyote hunting, you got bullfrog season still in, noodling season still in, all kinds of stuff to do. So I hope everybody take this opportunity to maybe get out in the woods, get out in the woods and on the water. And it's a great time to be out smallmouth fishing, man. A lot of people take for granted those little creeks and streams that hold. And Eastern Kentucky, and you said one of the areas, they're going to have to go back to find out which area that was when you said where you were from. Some of the best smallmouth fishing in the state of Kentucky. If you're looking for some light action, reel and rod, great day to take the kids out and do some wade fishing, cool off in the creek or streams. Eastern Kentucky's got some of the best smallmouth fishing anywhere in the state.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Justin Tinley says unit draw is when the work begins for sure. Right on, brother. Anything else in closing, Bub? Have we missed anything? Anything else we need to talk about?
Man, we got some local vendors on board. I really I want to beat that local drum pretty hard. I like to have us all under that roof on August 24th. Show everybody what Eastern Kentucky brings. The numbers on the flyer there, me or Chris or Cameron or anybody, get a hold of us. I'll tell you, 2 weeks before archery season in Kentucky, this is the place you want to be. And it's all going for a good cause. And like I said, I'll put my name that you, no matter where you go in the world, you won't hear no better turkey calling than what you'll hear under that roof right there.
And some of the best turkey hunters in the world will be right there too.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Matt, what you got in closing, buddy?
That's it, buddy. When we hang up here, I'm going to go try to make one set.
Perfect timing. Maybe old Willie will come by.
Maybe.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Bub. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything you do for us, brother. And we'll see you August 24th at Hunting the 606 Expo in Pikeville, Kentucky.
All right. Thank y'all. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah. Folks, we appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you so much. Remember, if you want to know the creator, look at the creation, man. And it's a great time to be out. Everybody get out and enjoy. Stay safe. And remember, every Tuesday night is On Air and Outdoors with TLC Outfitters. We hope you have a good rest of your week. We'll see you back here next week. Y'all have a good one.
Eastern Kentucky, where I was raised, where the wildlife and mountains call my name. I was born to hunt, I was born to guide, a camouflage on a rifle by my side. Just good old country boys chasing dreams in the Appalachian Mountains, filled with streams. From those white-tailed bucks strutting toms, the bugling elks are on the run. Where those dreams are made, the trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name.